Hello, and welcome to the 53rd episode of the Neil and the Lens podcast, the only show that threads together music, movies, TV. I am Noah, here as always with
Kevin, and thank God he finally did the intro that he wrote.
Nailed it.
He nailed it this time. And you know, it's fitting. It's fitting that we get it right this time because we're here. It's episode 53. Yeah, I guess I won't dwell on it too much. This is going to be the last one for a little bit. I don't know how long that is now, but if you want to keep up with us, follow us on Elon Musk's Twitter, NAL podcast. Unfortunately, now owned by Elon Musk. You know, It is what it is.
Yeah, interesting time over there. But
it will be. But I mean, that's really the only social media.
Will it be that much different? Do you really think it'll be that much different? I
don't know, man. I feel like a lot more shit's gonna fly on there.
Maybe, a lot more. But I'm thinking of there's so much that already flew on Twitter.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, we were talking about the whole Snickers thing just now. Twitter's a fucking insane place. Wild. Twitter is so wild.
And sometimes it's wild that app is free.
You know, really right?
Now I'm like, this is
free. All this content is free. And you know what? We shouldn't have kept saying that because then they tried to do Twitter Blue.
Oh yeah. You know, I don't know if you've gotten it yet, but I got downvotes. So I have that.
I have downvotes now too, which is nice.
I haven't used it though.
Yeah, I mean I haven't needed to.
I'm like, why do they only give us downvotes? Why not upvotes?
You know, right? I feel like likes are upvotes in a sense.
Okay, that is true.
But if you're gonna call it a downvote, why not just call it a dislike? And then you can just have a like to dislike ratio.
It's too harsh.
It hurts. I don't know. When I downvote shit on Reddit, I feel harsh in doing it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm like, your opinion does not deserve
dog
to be
shit.
Seen.
No,
this is
no. You know
bad.
the people that I do downvote all the fucking time are the people who just don't follow the rules of whatever subreddit it is. So like, there's two things. One on the vinyl subreddit.
On the vinyl releases,
unacceptable. People are like, oh, I'm looking for this. Fuck you. That is a downvote. This is
not what this is for.
This is not what this is. This is called releases, not collectors. Get the fuck out of this subreddit. That one. Gosh. And also, there's a Pokemon Go subreddit, right? Mm-hmm. Where there's a section where people go, you can like team up for raid battles and shit like that, right? And the only thing you're supposed to post on there is if you have one and for people to add you so that way you can add them to the battle or whatever. But some people will go into that thread and be like, hey guys, add me to whatever raid battles you have. I downvote that shit so fast. I'm like, get out. That's not what I'm supposed to do. Did you read the rules? That's not what this is for.
I never do.
Exactly. That's the thing about, I feel like there's a very big learning curve to Reddit compared to other social medias is that like you really need to know how things work. And
I feel like it's one of those apps you sit and observe for a while before you engage. Yeah.
Like you really need to sit there and just be like, you gotta suss out the vibe.
What is this? And sometimes, maybe you just sit and watch completely and you never engage in the conversation. But there are times where I just see something so outrageous that I'm like, I've got to say something.
Yeah, I need it. My opinion, Noah's opinion needs to be heard.
It needs to be heard. Yeah,
exactly. But speaking of our opinions, let's talk about some hot news items this week, folks. Yeah. The end times are coming for a corporation we've been spelling the end times for. Netflix.com.
Woo!
Woo! We did it! We fucking did it, Netflix.
This is all Severance.
This is all Severance.
Exactly. Only because of Severance.
Shout out Severance. Thanks for ending Netflix. But no, we've been talking about this for a while about how if Netflix doesn't keep up, they're going to lose the streaming war that they started, mind you. Just wanted to throw that fact out there. But yes, in Q1 of 2022, they lost 200,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And keep that in mind. We talked about how successful they were with Squid Game last year. That was November of last year? Yeah. Right? And I don't remember if it said that they specifically gained subscribers, but they certainly had a lot of the watch time on there. But isn't this their first loss of any period ever?
This is their biggest
Or
loss.
biggest? Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I want to say this may also be the first time they've reported
Reported a loss. I
a
feel like
loss.
I heard that too.
Yeah, I don't know that they've reported a loss before.
Which is
but
insane.
I think this is just very serious. So I guess
200,000 is a lot of people, and supposedly it's predicting that they're going to lose 2 million more in Q2.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that
which is
be
wild? It's wild.
That is
because
fucking insane.
Just because of the juggernaut that we've always known Netflix to be.
Yeah, they were. It seemed like almost too big to fail. They were, first to the party, and then everyone tried to copy them.
Everyone. I mean, they began the streaming era. Like
exactly. They brought about the death of Blockbuster, and I saw someone on Twitter saying that Blockbuster and the ancestors are laughing right now.
Come join us.
Great. It'll be like the meme where it's the gates of heaven. There's like Harambe and all the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Netflix is going up there next. That should be the thumbnail. That would have been funny. But yeah, 2 million more in Q2. Let's look at it. So Netflix lost 200,000 subscribers in Q1 and expects to lose another 2 million. In January, Netflix reported it had 221.84 million subscribers at the end of 2021. That is a lot of people. During a 3-month period that ended March 31st, the time span that included the debuts of Bridgerton Season 2 and The Atom Project, that its total fell to 221.64 million subs. Woe is me.
Yeah.
Exactly. This marks the first time Netflix has lost subscribers during a quarter in 10 years. Netflix said that not accounting for the losses in Russia, where the streamer cut services over the country's invasion of Ukraine, which, side note, a whole other thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been keeping up, but obviously like PayPal and stuff like that was cutting services to Russia and shit like that, which understandable. At the same time, it's really scary when big corporations can just completely cut off like the power to buy things, which is like the scariest
Especially
part of an increasingly
like
digital. Yeah. And also, to be completely honest, the Russian citizens aren't invading Ukraine.
They didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's Putin, but neither here nor there.
It's not a conversation. Not a political podcast.
Would have added 500,000 subscribers in Q1. The streaming service previously forecasted 2.5 million paid net ads in Q1. That's a bit of the ways off. While Wall Street analysts expect Netflix to add 2.8 million new subscribers in the first quarter and 3.98 million in the year earlier period. That is insane. But losing 200,000 subscribers. I mean, like, that may not seem like a ton in the grand scheme of the numbers, but to predict 2 million loss next quarter.
Yeah, to go from, the 200,000 to the 2 million is pretty big. And I feel like reporting this kind of only, like, when I hear this, I'm like, okay, everyone else is jumping ship. Maybe it's time.
Yeah. I feel like it's really only going to accelerate their downfall. I mean, yeah, obviously, like, it would have been found out anyway at some point, most likely. Yeah. But yeah, this really only accelerates the downfall. And I mean, it's the problems we've been talking about for the longest time. Just continually raising the prices of their service, not really adding a ton of new, fresh, original content like when they were first starting out, that they were, the first ones to get, new originals for streaming services and, doing them well.
They were really great. And people were like, this is, I have must-see TV, Orange is the New Black, House of Cards at one point. Like, these were things people were like, you're not watching this? And now it's like
Stranger Things, which is coming back, but I don't think that's going to be enough to save them.
And I don't know that the hype is, as big around that show as it used to be.
It's certainly not. Definitely, like, I'm remotely excited for the next season, but at the same time, like from what I've seen online, it's not too much excitement going into the season. It's like, oh, okay, cool, Stranger Things.
And Netflix spent $30 million per episode of that show.
$30 million. I mean, we all knew Netflix is not a company that makes money. Like they're not profitable.
Yeah. It's just like when
there's
you
no way
that,
for it to be profitable.
There's just so many, and then you cancel, so many shows.
Yeah, exactly. So many shows that, and when this news came out, everyone on Twitter was like, shouldn't have canceled this, shouldn't have canceled that, shouldn't have canceled this.
Yeah, because I mean that's what I think about now when I'm like, okay, am I genuinely thinking like, should I keep Netflix? I have to think about what they still have on there that I am seriously interested in. And of course that's not even taking into account things that I could maybe pirate if I wanted to. But I mean, like Ozark, which I feel like is one of their bigger shows that, still gets a lot of critical acclaim and awards love, literally ends this week. The last episode's coming out this week.
Yeah, and that's the end of the show, period, right?
And that's the end of the show. That's the series finale.
Goddamn.
So I'm like, okay, like that was one of the biggest things I had. And granted, they didn't cancel that. The show decided to end.
Yeah.
Which is like, but aside from that, they've canceled some like American Vandal. I adored that show.
Oh my God.
Glow. I used to love that show. Got renewed, and then they were one of the ones that got it taken back and they got canceled.
Yeah.
So it's just like
it's upsetting.
I don't know that there's a whole lot keeping me there. And not to mention, so much is getting taken off of the platform and moved to other streaming services.
Exactly. And not to say that, because everyone will say like, oh, you shouldn't have taken The Office off there. I don't think that was nearly as much of the big drop. But between that and Friends, that was two things that a lot of people were using Netflix to rewatch about.
Yeah, two of their biggest shows.
Yeah, two of their biggest shows. But the way that the platform has shifted since its earliest days, they didn't need those. More often than not, the draws are the originals now.
The originals, yeah.
Which that's how, I mean, ideally, most streaming services should be. You should have your original content.
I think Netflix also suffers from a big problem of oversaturation.
Oh yeah, no, of course. We've been talking about how they just keep on. There's a new show every week. That's just like mediocre. It's not even that good.
And it's hard to keep track of. And it gets to the point where it's like there's this like new show or something. I don't know if you heard about it. It's like called Heartstopper or something. I don't know. It's some like teen, like one of those other teen shows or whatever. And I've like seen certain people talking about it, but I was like, it's just another Netflix show. It looks kind of like cringe, I'm like, it's gotten to the point where it's like I can't tell if anything is actually good or not, because if anything looks good because I see it, I'm just like, oh, it's another Netflix.
Yeah.
Just another Netflix teen show.
Yeah. But even beside that, like even when they were putting out relatively not great content, it was at the very least iconic. Like you didn't have so much to where it was like, oh, there's a new show. Like we discussed before, you can go on there one day, something's at the top of trending, and then the next day it's something completely different because they just put out a new show.
Yeah.
Or even week to week, right? But before it was like, okay, you would have a big drop. Like this is a big deal. Like a big, even if it's not that great of a teen movie or some shit. Like, what's the Kissing Booth at Netflix one?
Yeah, that was a big.
Yeah, the Kissing Booth.
Big deal.
That was huge.
At the time.
Terrible.
Right.
But it was huge.
But it was a big deal.
Tall Girl was Netflix too, right?
Oh yeah, Tall Girl. I forgot about her.
That's why Netflix is dying, because they
apparently
did
there's
Tall
a
Girl
Tall
2.
Girl 2,
They're doing Tall Girl 2.
And they didn't call it Taller Girl. Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity. Should have had us on the marketing team. You wouldn't be floundering right now, Netflix. Come on. You fucked up. But yeah, so even when they weren't good content, it was still iconic stuff that people was talking about and just people could focus on for weeks at a time. You would have a big drop that would last you a couple of weeks. But now it's just like, here's these smaller shows that no one really cares about. And even if some of them are good, like I enjoyed Brand New Cherry Flavor, I enjoyed Archive 81. There's just a lot of just bullshit on there that no one fucking cares about. Nothing that is big culturally speaking. You haven't had a Squid Game in a while. I mean, even though that wasn't even that long ago. Tiger King, like just of the, two that I can think of that were very culturally significant. You don't have those that often. So it's like, okay, yeah, maybe every
and I think those,
6 or 7 months you get something like that. And then people are talking about Netflix again. But then once the hype for that dies down, it's who fucking cares anymore?
Yeah. And I think some of those even just like Netflix benefited a bit just from like the height of the pandemic. And just having shows like Tiger King.
Well, Tiger King came out at the perfect time.
Yeah. Or Queen's Gambit, which I feel like also fell in around that same time. And Squid Game kind of came near the end of the height, but still kind of, it
was at least like culturally significant.
Right. But and the thing is with those, like, I don't know that, the one thing about Squid Game and Tiger King and those things like that is that it has the word of mouth thing, whereas some of these other shows like Bridgerton, I don't know that these have a word of mouth. It's just like everyone knows it comes out, they watch it all in a quick period of time and they're done. Whereas, with something like Squid Game, it's like, okay, maybe someone watches it in a really quick span of time, but then they have to tell someone else, oh, you need to watch this.
Yeah.
And someone else needs to watch this. So you're kind of getting this like elongated period of, everyone discovering and watching this show, which is another reason why we've talked about they would probably benefit a lot from
the weekly
release model.
Yep.
And they refuse to do it.
It's hard because how do you tell your 200 million subscriber base who has grown accustomed to your all at once release schedule? How do you tell them, hey, we're going to switch to weekly releases? Because from what I can tell, from what I can assume, most of the people that enjoy watching series on Netflix, they enjoy it because, you get to watch it all at once.
Right.
It doesn't benefit them as a company, but their base likes it.
And I think now, it is one of those things. It's almost too late for them to go back because it's part of the Netflix thing. It's just what they do,
Yeah.
And people like it. And it's one of those things where you do kind of look forward to it a bit. Because it's like, even me, I'm like, oh my gosh, Ozark's coming out. I cannot wait to just sit down and consume all of this, in a short amount of time. But were it to be something like Severance, I would be equally as excited, maybe more excited to have it over, give me 8 episodes, give me 2 months worth of time to sit and love a show. Like, I would probably be more excited to do that. So it, which I mean are all things we've said before, and it's just that now we're finally seeing the consequences of
the consequences of these actions. And I mean, between that and reports of them cracking down on password sharing a lot more, which dumb in their eyes. Even now, them talking about potentially putting commercials on there, which is one of the biggest draws of Netflix, is that there's no ad-supported plan at all. It's completely ad-free. And I know that the talk right now is them adding a cheaper ad-supported plan, which doesn't necessarily hurt their subscribers that much right now. But it's like, hey, when you build a platform accustomed to a specific set of things, you are less likely for them to be okay with any sort of change.
It's true.
When you have a formula going, people aren't going to be okay if you switch it up on them like that.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of people have been upset about the price hikes and things like that. And also,
people.
Of course. But, and also on top of that, they're fumbling the bag pretty hard here because they're like, oh, well, we're losing subscribers, right? Let's go ahead and cancel a bunch of stuff. Like they're gonna, I mean, no one cares about this, but they're canceling Bright 2. But most notably, no, I know. But most notably, they're canceling a bunch of animated projects too, which animation has been kind of some of Netflix's strong suit in a sense, or at least it's been certainly something that a lot of people, maybe in a more underrated sense, have been going towards. Like, it's
Yeah,
not
and I would say like I think most of their animated stuff like gets a lot of critical acclaim. Like
exactly
it's
like
very
Arcane just
well received.
recently
Yeah,
has been a awards just hog at a lot of
yeah,
these animation awards
right.
and festivals and stuff like that. Like, it's been hugely successful and people have
Yeah,
enjoyed that. And
Mitchell's
I mean,
versus the Machines.
exactly. I completely forgot that was Netflix.
Yeah,
Bro. Like, this is honestly some of their best content. And you're just gonna fucking throw it out. It sucks because like studios and in a lot of cases audiences in general don't respect animation the same way that they do, live action, right?
hmm
And it sucks because there's that stigma behind animation of, oh, this is content for children. And yeah, there's some adult animation that's like blah, blah, blah in a lot of
right.
cases. But, it doesn't have to be just for kids. And it should be
Maybe.
respected in the same
What do
way
they call it?
that
This
traditional cinema is.
BoJack literally is
BoJack,
regarded
yeah.
as like one of the best shows of all time now because, and everybody loves that show. So
Yeah.
it's like that's not the department that they need to be,
Yeah, they need to
cutting
shut
back on.
down the bullshit drama
Yeah, that and
department.
honestly, they need to. I would say, go all in. Maybe not all in, but lean more into animation. Honestly, lean more into reality TV because that's the
Yeah,
kind of
because
trashy stuff that you were
that's
talking
the
about. Like with
shit
the
that
kissing
Netflix
booth,
is working.
it might not be good, but people eat that up. Like
They
people
really
love it.
are.
The Love Is Blind, the new the Ultimatum,
The
like,
Ultimatum. Terrible. Dog shit fucking shows. But
and everybody
people
watches
are loving them.
it. Exactly.
Which, yeah, we as a society, we do in fact live in a society, love trashy reality TV.
Yeah.
It's working. So, yeah, keep fucking shitting them out of your asshole, right?
Yeah.
Keep doing
And
it. It's fine. It's fine.
it's just so wild because you see things like, and Netflix has had so long to kind of build that in some ways it does seem almost inevitable that like everything, the same way that Blockbuster rose and fell, like these things have to have some sort of, they can't just go forever almost.
Yeah.
So it almost seems inevitable in a way, but I think they could have avoided a lot of this. Um,
I
and
think a
maybe they
lot
can
of it
still bring it
has.
back.
Right.
I think they can. I don't think this is, as much as we say, this is death in Netflix. I think there is still, you know, a decent amount of life left in them.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
I think they
just the
just have
problem is
to.
if they don't change their ways now, it's only going to get worse from
Yeah,
here
it's only gonna go
because
downhill.
all these other streaming services are playing the game better. They're
Yeah,
keeping their prices relatively low in most cases. The only one that's really close to being as expensive as Netflix's is HBO Max, but they're making up with it for having a lot of good original content that is
yep.
eventually going to come out.
A
If
lot
they
of
don't
good
keep delaying
classic
shit. A
content.
lot of good classic content because Warner Bros. Is a huge company.
Yeah, and then they have the theatrical deal with with the Warner Bros. Movies. Like, I mean, they have Batman on there now. I
Yeah,
think it's what,
Batman's
a
on there
40
now that a lot
day.
of people have seen.
I think maybe it's 40 days after it's been in theaters,
Yeah,
and it
which
can
that's
come to the
really
platform.
quick, honestly.
Yeah, like they have stuff that makes paying that worth it. Also, HBO once again weekly releases for a decent amount of their stuff.
Hmm.
Um, which yeah, I mean, and the thing is, I feel like I'll never, like there's always going to be something for me on HBO,
Yeah,
and even with something like Apple TV Plus, where maybe it's like it has a smaller selection, what they do have on there is
is
so
of
good.
a lot higher quality.
It's
And
yeah,
I will say, I think the most comparable comparison to Netflix is Apple TV Plus,
mm,
solely because of the fact that they don't have, like, there's no back catalog of Apple content. Whereas
right,
with HBO Max, Warner Bros. Is a massive corporation. Disney Plus, Disney is fucking Disney. I don't even need to say much else about that, but they have that massive back catalog and also that big studio backing that the content they were gonna make anyway, they could just put on the platform and then boom. And then they have their platform original content. So it's a win-win with that. Netflix, when they were starting out, it was revolutionary because they had licensed content, a lot of the shows that people loved, but didn't want to wait to either watch it on demand through their cable provider or watch the reruns or whatnot, like, you know, The Office, Friends, things like that they wanted to see. And then Netflix dipped their toes into originals, and they were pretty good when they first started. So they were going based off that. But now that you're having all these big corporations that are, in many senses, too big to fail, literally speaking.
Right.
Even because at the end of the day, if HBO Max plummets in subscribers, no one fucking cares. It doesn't matter. Warner Bros. Is going to be fine. If Disney Plus fails tomorrow, Disney's going to be fine. Yeah. If Apple TV fails tomorrow, Apple will be fine because Apple is a huge corporation in and of themselves. Netflix only has Netflix.
Yeah.
That's it. So you need Netflix to succeed in order for Netflix to continue to exist.
That's true. And I mean, they're doing their best right now, but it's, you know, it looks like a kid that just got thrown into the deep end and is just like flailing around, just trying to stay afloat.
The thing is when they started, it wasn't even the deep end. The waters just got a hell of a lot deeper, and I don't think Netflix was ready for that. And I mean, when the streaming wars first started, I think we all thought, oh, well, Netflix is going to come out on top. Obviously, no one cares about all these ones. Yeah. But they've continued to prove themselves by having good content, you know, finding good marketing strategies, and just, you know, working the system better than Netflix has.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, by having a much larger backing than Netflix
Right.
does.
I don't think Netflix really necessarily had a lot of strategy. I think they just were kind of confident in themselves that, oh, we have everything. Like, we have it all. That's enough for people to come to us. And then when it became okay, actually, now people are taking things from us.
Yeah.
We no longer have it all. Now what do?
We need to bloat our
let's
catalog.
have a strategy before, you know. So I think now they're just like, okay, we don't have The Office. We don't have Friends. We don't have a lot of these things that have been taken from us by Paramount or Peacock or whoever. So now we've got to try and scramble and figure something out because people aren't
and that's why I think a lot of their strategy now is just bloating the platform with one-off series that are less than mediocre in a lot of cases.
That's the thing. These other platforms, they're doing it tomorrow. Apple TV Plus literally beat Netflix to
first streaming service to win Best Picture. Yes.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, and they thought, I mean, Power of the Dog was supposed to be the one.
Yeah.
But then Coda came and take it.
Yeah. So it's wild, especially looking at Apple TV Plus is the one that everyone was dogging on, myself included.
Of course, no one. Don't need. There was no reason to believe in Apple TV Plus. There was absolutely no reason to believe in them.
I am their biggest advocate,
of course.
And it's $4.99.
Yeah, like how are you gonna have the best streaming quality at only $5 a month? Come on,
And you know what? At some point, it's inevitable they will up their price. But you know,
of course. But
at least as far as their track record goes right now,
if the catalog keeps up with it, that's fine by me.
Yeah,
it's just so crazy. Because there was no reason to believe in Apple. They didn't have any of the advantages of a Warner Bros, of a Disney. Or even a Paramount. Paramount's got like a solid advantage, but I mean, that's just the content's just right. It's mostly good back catalog, not good new original stuff. It's just
it's wild. We'll see. We'll check back in with Netflix.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I think it would definitely be interesting to see after the rest of the year transpires where they goes down. Like, definitely at the top of next year, it'd be interesting to see how many they've lost. I do think they're going to continue to suffer losses. However, I don't think they'll be out by the end of the year. That's insane
no way.
To forecast.
I do think genuinely Netflix will still be around for quite a long time. I just don't know to what degree they will have as much. They will be, the juggernaut force to be reckoned with in the streaming era.
I think they're going to continue to lose share of the overall market. I think it's going to continue to grow smaller and smaller. I think we might even see someone overtake them at some point this year. But I don't think they're out yet. I think the biggest thing with Netflix, though, is, and I mean, just going back to their release schedule and their release strategy, Netflix is a platform where if you really want a specific show, if you really want to see it that bad, you go month to month. You literally unsubscribe after you've seen the show, and you just go month to month. Like, it's coming out this month. I'll subscribe this month.
Be back.
Yeah, I'll be back. But with other ones, it's like, okay, well, we're doing the weekly release. So you're already going to have to pay 2 months in a lot of cases anyway, especially if the series is, 6 or more episodes. You're going to have to pay 2 months anyway. But, at that point, you're like, okay, well, in that time, let me get my money's worth. Oh, well, let me try this show. Let me try this show. And then you're hooked on the platform by that
That's how they get you.
Exactly. Netflix, it's like, okay, Ozark season 4 is coming back. All right, I'll resubscribe.
Yep.
Boom, finish that in one day. All right, bye Netflix. I don't want to play with you anymore.
Done with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if the future's looking too bright for Netflix right now.
Yeah.
But time
it's really not. But we shall indeed see. Listen, we've been talking about, fuck Netflix, they're gonna fail, but I mean they've got good stuff on their platform before. I want them to succeed because obviously the more competition there is in the market, the better stuff ideally we're supposed to get. Isn't that how capitalism is supposed to work, right?
Yeah.
Competition breeds innovation, so on and so forth.
Ooh.
Yeah, right. But I mean, just it would be nice. It would be nice if they would put out some good shit. I don't know. I mean, I was on a bit of a binge early this year where I was like, okay, since they're putting out so much new stuff, let me try my best to keep up with it. And then I just couldn't. I watched a couple of shows and I was just like, whatever.
And you know what? But it's just too much. Like I was saying,
more stuff like Arcane. Don't cut the animation budget. All right, don't cut the animation budget. Y'all are doing really good there. Y'all putting out really high quality stuff. Don't cut the budget. Don't. It's not a good idea.
Don't do it. Listen to us. We know
exactly. We know better than you. I mean, in all honesty, we probably do know better than
we're the consumers.
Yeah, and I feel like we're pretty tapped into what like the average people want. Like, even though I don't like the trashy reality TV shit, I know that's what people are watching because I'm on Twitter.
Everyone's always talking about. I feel like I know what's going on in these shows sometimes just because I'm on the internet.
Exactly. Just existing on the internet gives me the knowledge that I didn't ask to have.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, shows. I cannot believe Michelle did that.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's so
crazy.
Wild. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. We'll see what happens by the end of this year, or even by the end of this quarter. We'll see how Netflix fares past this point. But fingers crossed? Question mark?
Maybe.
Maybe. Indeed.
All right.
Yeah, we'll see past this point. But moving right along, honestly, I think all we have to really talk about is, well, I guess we can touch on it real quick because you told me today, just some vinyl news. VMP is going to open their own vinyl producing plant.
Yes.
Thank you, VMP.
Thank you.
We're both avid record collectors. Obviously, I don't want to pull up the article because I'm lazy, but they're opening their own vinyl processing plant with a focus in audio quality, what they call, quote, an audiophile grade processing plant, which Listen, the more plants we get, the more this shortage will
It can.
be
It can't
minimized.
hurt. It can't
It
hurt.
can't hurt.
I was just because we were just talking, and I was just like, I legitimately don't know how these delays. How we ever catch up on these delays without more plants
Without
being
building
built.
more. The only thing I will say though is that with another one being built, it could get worse if if they're like, oh, they're building another one, so demand increases so much more that it's still just like essentially just puts us back at square one.
Come
where
on.
we have too
that
many.
would be rough. I hope
Yeah.
that wouldn't happen. Also, I think maybe that won't happen just because it doesn't seem like VMP is going to be pressing that much stuff outside of
Their own catalog, which
their
is
own
still a
catalog,
lot. They
which is still a
do
lot. They
they
press
do
a
a
lot.
lot of vinyl, which I am, pretty excited for. If they're gonna, there's gonna be a lot more quality control on them.
Right.
And, maybe we get more pressings out of them for this. They'll be more incentivized to do it because they don't have to, contract it out to a different plant.
Yeah.
We'll see. We shall see. But yeah, and they also did mention that a select number of partners they'll be pressing their records to, which that's good. Helping out.
Yeah.
What they said is 14,000 square feet or 40,000. I don't remember. It's a big fucking number, right? And
Either
it's
way.
set to open by the end of the year this year. So cool. And also now I'm looking at this Torre Moi one that I
from VMP,
really want to pick up. I really
I want to pick it up, but I'm like, hear it first.
Yeah, I know, but I'm also like, he's got the Gypney on there, and I'm feeling very, my people.
You gotta support.
Exactly. Like it's a cool looking pressing. I'll
Is that
go
the
ahead.
blue one or the red one?
It's the blue and white, or I guess blue
Like
and
white
silver.
marble?
Yeah, blue and white.
It's the split.
The split. Is there more?
Yeah, there
That's
are a decent amount of variants that I've been seeing.
Oh well, I'm seeing on just the VMP one, but I guess I could probably save money by going with a different one, but late April, never mind. Okay, I was gonna say if this is by the end of the year, maybe this will be the first one of the new plant. Who knows?
Yeah, no, but not till.
Yeah, but aside from that, let's talk about Moon Knight, episode 4, right?
Episode 4, the good old MCU show, episode 4. That's when I feel like episode 4 is the one where shit always hits the fan.
Yeah,
with the MCU shows.
That's what they do, because we're always bitching about the third one. It's like, this doesn't feel like the halfway point of the show.
And then you get to the fourth and you're like, oh, then they fourth one, they always
take it up to 9.99.
Like, it always feels like a point, like maybe we should have gotten to this sooner in the season.
Yeah.
I don't know why they always wait till it's like they have a formula that is so clear and so precise and noticeable at this point.
Exactly. It is a very clear pattern. And I will say, I very vaguely remember this episode. It's been a while since I've seen it, obviously. I probably should have watched it again closer to the podcast. But from what I remember, I feel like a lot of the content in this episode should have been in episode 2. I feel like this little tomb side quest, or not even really side quest, this is the main quest, I guess, or whatever. But this felt like a side quest. This Tomb Raider side quest should have been in episode 2. I feel like it would have been good.
I would have been all for doing some of this stuff earlier, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I would have been all for it. And it's frustrating that we got to it now. It's definitely the best episode of the show thus far.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I'll say it's definitely one of the better ones. I think.
Really? I think this one is by far the best one for me.
I just think there was a lot of frustrating things about this episode that I couldn't quite get past. One, the Steve and Layla kiss, pointless as all fuck.
Okay, yeah.
It was completely pointless. Honestly, kind of worse than the Loki x Loki kiss in my mind. I know I'm probably exaggerating on that.
I didn't care about the Loki. I wasn't as bothered by the Loki thing. People really hated that.
Yeah, a lot of people hated that, so definitely that's probably going to be a bad take of my opinion. But yeah, it felt really pointless. There was like, I get the idea that like this identity exhibits a lot of the traits of her, so of course she's going to be attracted to it or whatever.
Yeah.
But it felt pointless, and also I don't know, it just didn't help her character in my mind. I want more development out of Layla. She had a lot more of an opportunity to be a very interesting character, and it just feels very relegated to the conflicted love interest, which is sad in my mind.
Yeah, and I wonder if, because of the twist, if maybe, because I think a lot of people were trying to find, I saw some people being like, oh, okay, now we actually understand why. Someone was like, so that's an explanation for why the CGI has been so bad. Because
shut the fuck up.
I'm like, okay, let's not go that far. Let's not go that far.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, we've already spoiled a bunch, right? But it's pretty vague. But yeah, there was a twist at the end after he gets shot by Harrow, where one of two tracks: either the whole show was a dream,
right,
or like all the events of the show were a dream, and he's actually in a mental institution, or this is like this segment is taking place within his head.
Yeah.
It's like there's two tracks to believe.
Right. I will say I'm kind of still, I don't know exactly what way this is going to go.
By the end of the episode, it felt more the latter than the former. Although I think if they were going to do this, they should have ended this as soon as he woke up. That would have been a very satisfying cliffhanger. I think we could have had, honestly, if I wanted to write this story better, you end it there on that cliffhanger. We get a little more side quest Tomb Raider bullshit in this episode. Yeah. It ends on that twist. Everyone's like, what the fuck? What? That's so crazy. And then the entirety of episode 5, except for maybe a little bit at the very end, takes place within this mental institution where he's figuring out, he's navigating it. And then we get whatever the reveal is at the end, whether, the whole thing was a dream, which they're not going to do that because that would be stupid, obviously.
Yeah.
Which also that bothered me, the fact that was even like an idea, and it was all a dream. And then I woke up, fucking 6th grade nonfiction writing ass bullshit.
Yeah.
That bothered the fuck out of me that was even a possibility.
Right.
But then, he navigates through this. Oh, it's not really a dream. He's, trying to find his way out. And then episode 6 is the final confrontation between him and Harrow, or him and Amit then in that case, because probably Harrow's already awoken Amit.
Right.
Bing, boop, bop, right? That would have been a better way to end this. But I feel like we got too much at the end of this. Like, there's still questions, but we got too far.
When I saw like what was happening and we're in like the mental institution or whatever, I was like, okay, wow, like, okay, it's probably about to end. And I looked and I was like, I still have 10 minutes left.
Yeah, there's still 10 minutes. I mean, to be fair, like 5 minutes of credits, but
5 minutes of credits, but still, I was like, they're showing
5 minutes left.
Yeah,
like I think the perfect ending point would be when he sees the movie and it mentions the name like Dr. Stephen Grant, like that part. Because then it would have been like, okay, so now you can start thinking about stuff. Perfect ending point.
And it would have been like, all right, let's theorize what's going on here.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, well, he made it up all in his head and whatnot. But that wouldn't be a satisfying conclusion. So like, how can we twist this to be that?
Yeah. I just want something as satisfying as WandaVision.
Yeah, honestly, the more I've looked back, the more I'm like, man, WandaVision slap, bro.
WandaVision's top tier for me. I love that
I'm
show.
Still personally more into
Loki. You're all aboard the Loki train, yeah.
I do think, though, after Multiverse of Madness, I think it might push WandaVision up for me just with how it
ties in and everything.
Exactly. But I don't know. I just think like, and a lot of it probably does have to deal with the fact that I saw Loki week to week versus WandaVision was a big binge for me. Probably would have been a lot more invested if it was not if I watched it week to week.
That week to week, man.
No.
That hits different. Like,
no, for sure.
Really,
for sure. Netflix should have taken notes.
Especially because of everyone just like collectively theorizing and what's going on, and the slow reveal, which was arguably too slow, but
it was. But I just
I enjoyed it nonetheless.
I appreciate that. I think everyone complaining about that made these shows too short now. And 8 episodes isn't even that long.
Yeah.
Fuck, I could have watched a 13-episode season of WandaVision.
I probably could have. I think they would have turned their wheels in the mud for a little too long, probably.
It would have. I think the thing with WandaVision is it doesn't necessarily as much lend itself to that longer series. I think Loki could have been a fun longer season. Because like I said,
we thought about I think we thought Loki would be like
a buddy cop kind of deal.
Yeah, he's just jumping through time. And I feel like
buddy cop thing with an overarching plot with Sylvie and whatnot.
Right.
With
and they could have had certain
bottle
episodes or even maybe filler episodes where it's just like, we're just, we have to go do a side mission. Yeah. Yeah. Which I would have been fine with if that was the show,
Yeah.
But, see, the MCU does what they do. And,
they're doing self-contained stories, which isn't a bad thing, but we don't get to, and even those filler quote unquote episodes could have had really good character moments, which would have been
which is why I think I enjoy WandaVision, because I will say some of the episodes did feel like, okay, what did we really learn this episode? What did we really accomplish? Did we peel anything back, or is it just Vision once again being like, what's going on? But it's like, even if there is that, there's good interesting moments between the two of them. Or you have Agatha, which, need I say any more about her?
Exactly.
It's just like, I just don't know that this Moon Knight has that yet.
Exactly. And honestly, make it out to 13 episodes. Give us more Tomb Raider side quest bullshit, right? Give us more time to develop the relationship between Mark and Layla. Give us more time to develop the relationship between Steven and Layla. That kiss would have paid off more if we had more time to develop those two. And you have a weird fucked up love triangle.
For me too.
Yeah, the dad thing is like, okay.
That didn't hit for me. I was like,
yeah, to be fair, it was pretty obvious it was going to happen based on the source material. But it's like, okay, I don't really care that much about that.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do think this is the best episode thus far.
Yeah, certainly.
For me personally. I think also just in terms of like the way it felt, this felt like,
this felt like what the show should have felt like.
Yeah, and I can't say that in this episode there was any CGI that stood out to me as particularly bad.
Yeah, no, it felt a lot better this episode.
It just felt more, everything looked better. It felt more cinematic. There were good character moments.
Yeah.
Even if they didn't completely hit for me.
Between Harrow and Layla, that was a good moment.
Exactly. So, you've got stuff in there.
There's
and
bite-sized nuggets of good things of what this show could have been. We're 2 episodes away from the finale, and we're finally getting like a really good, solid episode.
That's what happens all the time, man. That episode 4. Episode
4 is always the best one.
Yeah, episode 4. That's when John Walker killed that
best fucking episode.
What they were called. That was the best one. That was a really good one. Episode 4, WandaVision. That's when
I feel like the WandaVision one doesn't apply as much just because it's a longer.
Yeah. But they did reveal a lot in that episode.
They did. But of the 6 episode series, episode 4 is always the best one.
Yes.
Loki episode 4, banger.
Yeah. That was a good one. That was when Loki got whatchamacallit, got hit with the thing, got sent to the other dimension or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was a wild episode. Trying to remember Hawkeye episode 4. Honestly, couldn't tell you. Couldn't
Let
tell
me
you what
find out
happened
now.
I wish I could.
Hawkeye episode 4. I'm pretty sure it was Partners. Am I right? Give me a. Secrets are revealed about a key suspect in the mystery, while hard truths emerge. That was a banger episode.
It was a banger. I don't remember it.
Well, it wasn't like a banger, but in terms of the
for
series,
Hawkeye,
yeah, for
it was
Hawkeye,
a banger.
yeah, no, this was a good episode with really good character moments. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this was a good episode.
All right.
Probably the best one of the series. Maybe 5 might have been better, but I don't remember. But
all right, I'll trust you. But we'll see. I trust that Moon Knight will hopefully at least be, pretty good for the last 2 episodes now that we've gotten to this point.
It'll hopefully stick the landing. It just sucks because we could have had a really good series. And I understand why they want to keep them short, because they obviously have a schedule that they need to be on, and obviously don't want to spend more money on it. But it's upsetting because we could have had a longer, even 10 episodes. Give us 10 episodes. That gives us 4 more side questy episodes that we could have used to develop the characters, develop the relationships, develop the gravity of the situation. Because Harrow found the tomb way too easily. We're already there. That's supposed to be an end of the world situation. That should have been, he found it 2 or 3 episodes before the ending, which I guess, to be fair, he did, but only because that's halfway through the show.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I can't think about this too much. It'll upset me.
I know. I want better. I want better for them.
Yeah, I'll do. But yeah.
That's that. That's our thoughts on Moon Knight. Let's cleanse the palate. Let's talk about what we enjoyed this week. I am almost certain that I went first last week, so I'll go ahead and let you go first this week.
Woo. And I don't know how much I have this week, but we'll see. I know for sure I have to talk about this new single from West Side Boogie and Shelly. It's a banger.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I won't say it's a banger as in
it's cool. It's cool though.
But it's so good. And I love West Side Boogie. And I was talking maybe I don't remember. Recently, I was talking about the Shady Records lineup at some point, maybe being able to compete with Dreamville and TDE. And it's West Side Boogie and Grip. You've already got a pretty strong thing. Eminem is kind of starting to return, not completely return to form, but he's returning to a much more palatable Eminem.
Yeah. A better
Eminem.
There were some enjoyable parts of Music to Be Murdered By, I will admit.
Yeah. I think he's starting to get
back into shape.
Yes, a little bit. But I'm saying even if he doesn't and he continues to sign people of the same level as Grip, who I think is, lyrically one of the best rappers out right now, they could be a force.
They really could.
But there's that. What else? New Pink Panthers track with Willow that they teased so long ago.
Yeah, I'm tired of this.
I know, but it finally dropped.
And it also really came at a very inopportune time. People aren't really rocking with Willow right now.
They're definitely not. But I'm rocking with this single.
I don't know.
You weren't? You don't like the single?
I love Pink Panther's part. I don't know that I'm really loving Willow's portion.
I mean, that's valid. That's valid. I don't mind Willow's portion. I thought it was, it doesn't.
I don't mind it, but I don't love it. That's my point, I don't love it.
Yeah.
I'm also just salty on her for even doing emo girl. So
she does it's Willow at this point.
Yeah.
What else? We got, of course, new Pusha T. It's Almost Dry. Good album, really solid album. I don't know exactly. I was really man, I just saw, I went on Spotify and I saw he uploaded a new version of the album. called "It's
What?
Almost Dry." Pharrell versus Ye.
What?
And it's like
I guess it's just
order.
reordered. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
reordered. Like the second half, I guess is. Jesus, excuse me.
All right. Well, there's that. The album was pretty solid though.
Yeah.
It's not like, I thought it was really gonna shake like truly shake up my rap album of the year rankings. And I mean, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I don't know if it's like, knocking out any of maybe what I have in my top 4 right now, but I think the solid tracks on here are very
top
solid.
4 right now?
I'll say Earl, Vince. Those two are, and not necessarily in that order. I don't know which is which. I think I'm gonna put Saba up there too. And then that last spot, I'm like, I think I think I want to give it to Denzel.
You do.
Okay, I do. Excuse me, I do want to give it to Denzel. But
honestly,
yeah,
I'd have to refresh my memory on releases from this year, but mine's looking pretty similar. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. So that's how that's looking. I don't know. I could definitely see myself. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I think this album could definitely grow on me with more time. But there are just some tracks in there I'm like, why is this Lil Uzi and Gunna? Was it Gunna? No, it's Don Toliver. And here's the thing: if he had released that as a single, maybe I would have been like, "This is fine" as a Lucy.
Yeah,
but I'm like, why is it here
as
on
an
this
album cut? It's not,
and it's not even like a bad song. It's just like, why does this exist?
Feels out of place.
Yeah, I'm just like, why is this here? I don't like it. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. It's still a very solid album though. Do not get me wrong. It's still a very solid album. What else? Is that everything? No. Oh, this new track from Daniel Caesar. Honestly,
dude, I hate to say it. It's good. It's good.
It was good.
I was like, fuck you, Daniel.
I was like, I heard the first, like I was listening to, I was like, oh, I'm really vibing with this. You get to that second half, I was like, oh my God.
Dude.
This is beautiful.
Why did you throw it all away, Daniel?
Oh,
no,
man.
he's having a comeback. Definitely after his second project did terribly. He's having a comeback now. Obviously, he did the track with FK Twigs. He did the track with Omar Apollo. Like he's having a resurgence, certainly.
It's his time, and I hate to say, if it's this quality, I'm gonna be tapped in.
Yeah. I hate to say it too, but yeah.
I think that's really all I got to. There was some other stuff that I started to listen to and then didn't finish, but I'll have to, circle back to that. But in terms of listen, that's all I really got. Do not believe I watched any movies this week. Oh, I saw the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I forgot.
Yes, you did.
It was cool. I really love Pedro Pascal. I think he's like so fun, and like his relationship with Nicolas Cage in this is the best part of the movie to me. Like, they're so fun together. The movie wasn't like mind blowing or anything, but it was a good time. I would definitely watch it again. It seemed like a fun movie to watch with like friends or something. So yeah, I liked it.
Cool.
In terms of TV, let's see. Oh my God, Barry season 3 is on HBO.
Is it good?
Oh my God, you don't even know. This show is one of the best shows on TV. It was my number 1 show of 2019. It's been a long time.
Damn.
But this show is phenomenal. And it's been, almost 3 years now. And I was just like, oh, I really hope it still hits that same point. And it did not miss a step. Like, it gets right back into it. It's so good.
Very nice.
Oh, I love this show. It's very good. Like, I think
I might
you'll
have to
really
tap in.
enjoy
I've
it.
been looking for TV. I don't know. I've just been out of the loop. I need to get into something. So I don't know. Maybe I'll go through seasons 1 through 2. Try to see how I feel.
I mean, it's half hour. It's
Okay, cool.
it's
Is
really
it
funny. It's also really dark.
You're gonna get mad at this. Could I get away with just starting season 3?
Don't know. You can.
Okay,
You absolutely.
all right.
Actually, with this show, you definitely cannot do that.
Okay.
You
okay.
actually cannot.
I just wanted to make sure if that
No.
was an option. I wasn't going
There's-
to, but if it was an option,
No, it's definitely actually not an option at all with this. But I do, I could see this show like at the end of its run. I'm just like, this show is. I feel like it's gonna be up there, or it should be up there at least, with, the Breaking Bads of the world.
Mhm.
Like it is a truly
fair.
great show. There's that new season of Russian Doll is out on Netflix. I adored the first season, which is actually my number 2 show of 2019. Surprisingly enough, both of these shows coming back in the same week. Season 2 so far is not as great. It's not bad, but it's not as great. Which is another reason why I'm like, Netflix slipping. There was that, of course, new Moon Knight, which we talked about. And of course, new episode of Atlanta, which was just
Oh my god. Can we talk?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
God.
as soon as the jersey that said Central Park 5, I was like,
my
no.
God, I saw that.
I was just like, no. No.
So funny. Oh yes. What did he say? He was like, I haven't paid for a dinner in 73 police shootings. I was like, that.
Oh my
That's good.
god.
Oh,
Khalil,
God.
man. Dude, it's so funny.
And then they had that
God.
guy that was like a low key like Rachel Dolezal type.
Yes.
Like, are you even
Yes.
black? Like,
and then there was a part it's like, yeah, it doesn't sound right coming out. Does he say it a lot? And I was like, oh my god. It was so funny. That's
so
funny.
good.
This is one of the funniest one of the season. I got
Yeah.
There was a lot, and then
in your hood.
We're all from some hood. God.
Oh my gosh. And then the
Jollof.
Nigerian. Oh my gosh.
Dude, like, was that in the same day? The same fucking day she got the restaurant shut down? Like,
That
what?
was wild.
It's
Already
fucking
had her-
insane.
Oh wow.
I already knew. I was like, she was enjoying that shit way too much in the
the way
restaurant. I was
she's like, I need to get her.
I need to get her business card. And I was like,
I was
nope.
like, oh god.
Up to
Oh,
no good.
God.
Up to no good.
Yeah.
But God, that was just
It's bad. And I want to know what's going on with Van. I really do.
dude,
There's been,
she's been on some shit this season. It's been wild
Yeah.
to see. So
I don't know. I've heard some people be like, dying.
no,
I'm like,
no.
Because there's
Also,
been the
who
whole
is-
thing with like death and like ghosts this season.
So I was gonna
and,
say,
like,
who's the ghost of this episode?
I didn't catch a ghost thing. I mean, there was.
I couldn't either. Like, I went into this episode with like, I'm gonna find a ghost.
like some sort of reference to a ghost or anything, but I can't say that I found it in this episode yet. I haven't had a chance to do my my second watch, so maybe I will.
The restaurant owner?
Um,
I feel like that's like a very like, it's a
maybe?
bit of a reach. I'm grasping at straws here, but like, I mean, the restaurant disappeared a little too quickly.
right. There's gotta be something in there. And yeah, I'm interested to see what next week. Next week is another, one-off.
It's another one-off. Okay, so they are kind of doing the 2-1.
Yeah, the
special.
2-1 thing.
Which I'm
So-
fine with. I know, obviously, we talked about
Yeah.
a lot of people have been bleh about it, but
Right. And I think,
I'm fine with
I do understand to a degree, because it is kind of like,
yeah, because you watch
Um,
Atlanta to see what the main
Yeah.
cast of characters is doing, so I get
right.
that.
And I do think even with, the main cast, when we do get them, the episodes are very different than, season 1 and 2, because I think
Exactly.
in those seasons, the episodes with the main cast feel very
Linear.
character driven
Oh, yeah.
in a way. Like, I feel like we get more insight into them and their characters, whereas these
These are very situational.
yeah, they're very plot driven, I feel like. Whereas like you get episodes like Barbershop, where it's just like it's just Paperboy and the barber.
Yep.
They're just existing and doing wild stuff, and it's like it's them. Or you get episodes like the Woods episode,
Yeah.
or even Teddy Perkins to a degree. Like,
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
That one's a bit situational, but it is
it's a bit
driven by
situational,
the
but
two
you
characters.
get
Yeah.
that.
But this
Yeah,
one
so-
feels like the group in this situation.
Right. And I think that's also just because of the location that they're in
Yeah.
and the type of thing that they wanted to explore within that location. And so it's like, is it a great season? Yeah. Is it maybe when we're ranking the seasons of the show, will it be as high? Maybe not, only because there are things in the first two seasons that I love about the show.
Yeah.
That are not in this season just because of them being in Europe or whatever. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think we could lose that, but yeah, I'm
Yeah,
still
that's
okay with
fair. Yeah, no,
it.
I'm
But
fine with
I
it.
still love the direction that they're taking this season, and
Right.
yeah.
There you go.
But I think that's everything I saw this week.
Cool. I'll pick it up where you left off. TV, Atlanta, Moon Knight. Obviously, we just gushed about Atlanta for a bunch
Yeah.
and bitched about Moon Knight prior, so not gonna dwell on that. Like I said, I've been looking for new TV, so I may tap into Barry there. Like you were saying, movies. I thought you were gonna say you saw The Northman. Did you not?
No, so I didn't get a chance to go see it. I'm planning on.
Wow.
It's like I almost went today, but I was like, it's Discount Tuesday tomorrow.
Oh
So
yeah,
let me
Discount
just
Tuesday. Go
wait.
for the Discount Tuesday.
Yeah, I was like, let me
But
just wait.
But yeah, aside from that, I also got to see The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. It's a really good time at the movies, not gonna lie.
It is fun.
Like, I think it's weird because we're getting some like pretty solid comedies this year between
Yeah.
this and obviously like The Lost City's been very well received. So
Mhm.
like, I don't know, I think it's a pretty good year for comedy from what I can tell.
Yeah.
But
Hope
yeah,
people
no,
go
like
see
you
it.
said, yeah. Like you
Hope.
said, Pedro Pascal and Nick Cage, their relationship,
That's so fun.
hilarious. The best part about it, I highly I recommend it, especially if you're a fan of Nick Cage. There's a lot of
Yeah.
fan
And,
service for
I
that
think it
there.
works. I love that it works even if you're not a fan. I think.
Oh yeah, no,
personally.
definitely.
Um,
Yeah, I'm not like a massive Nick Cage fan.
Right,
Like I've
right.
relatively followed him for a decent bit, but
Mhm.
not like a massive stan or anything. But it still
Right.
works. And there was some fan service that I caught. It's an enjoyable time nonetheless. Music wise, going down the list, right? Pusha T. I can honestly agree with a lot of the sentiment that you're saying, although I do think that I probably enjoyed it a little bit more than you did necessarily. I think
I
it's,
liked. I feel like maybe I was going to.
no.
I
I
do really like
see exactly what you mean. Like I think yeah, there's definitely some parts that are like, man, like, I can agree that Scrape It Off was kind of,
Eh.
a little out of place. But overall, this is smooth, slick coke raps. And what else do you turn to Pusha T for, right?
Right.
Honestly, and I'm surprised to hear the Nego track on there. Hear me
Oh
clearly,
yeah, that it made it.
because like it was on the Nego tape as well.
Right.
But I mean, I
It's
guess
a solid. It's a solid cut.
yeah, it's a good one. So, but yeah, definitely like Call My Bluff. I really love. Just so you remember, the beat on that is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Neck and Wrist, obviously, still probably the best
That
one on there.
that one track, the one with Dreaming of the Past, that sample on there. Oh,
It's
so
a
good.
really good sample. I'm
I don't
okay
need
on the
Kanye's
song.
verse.
Yeah,
Really? Oh man, I love that. I love that track.
I don't know. I think it's Kanye's verse for me. That
Kanye's verse at the end, not necessary at all. I don't
Yeah.
mind his hook though.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also
it's a good-
that track, the last one with
Oh, yeah.
Labyrinth and No Malice. Well, I guess it's just Malice now.
Yeah, I guess he's
Um,
back to Malice, right? But
uh,
hey, no, that was a nice. I mean, we got 2 Clips reunions this year, so
yeah.
very cool, very cool. Beyond that, this Megan Thee Stallion track was actually pretty cool too. I enjoyed it a pretty decent bit. Nice beat. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. The Daniel Caesar track. I hate that. I love it. I hate that. I love it. This 07 or Oh 70 Shake. God, I can read numbers.
07,
Skin and Bones. I thought it was pretty cool. Florence and the Machine track Free. Pretty cool. Looking forward to that project. Surprisingly enough, I liked a fairly decent bit of this Blast project. I think it's this nice, cool, melodic. You know, he's got a really nice voice. Definitely haven't been super tapped into him thus far, but I think this is a cool project though. There's definitely a lot to love on it. Beyond that, I thought the Logic track was fine.
Oh yeah, wait, which apparently there were two.
Tetris. I only heard Tetris. I didn't realize there were two. I didn't bother.
Forgot about that
one.
There was one. The one had like the boom bap beat. The one that I heard.
I don't know.
Maybe I guess it probably was Tetris.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I thought it was fine. Couple tracks off this little 88 Rising 3-pack were cool too. I thought they were fine overall. Red Veil, Learn to Swim. Oh, I
forgot about Red Veil.
I was gonna say, have you heard it?
Dang it!
This is an impressive
it was so
project.
Good.
This is so impressive.
I was listening to it while I was waiting in line for record store day, but I was like, I hate this kid because he is so young.
He has so much talent.
So well. And the fact that he produced this whole thing by himself.
He did this all by him. Oh my God. I thought this was like, he had to have gotten like some sort of help.
He produced all of that by himself.
This is so much. And I mean this in the best possible way because a lot of people say that some things sound too polished. This is so much more polished than Niagara.
Oh, yeah.
In the best way possible.
In the best way.
Like the bars are better. The production is better. Oh my God.
I was listening to it. I was like, this isn't real.
This
he's
is
so young. If he's already at this level,
18 years old. He is 18 years old. PG Baby, Shoulder Better, fucking Morphine, Oh my God, this kid never ceases to amaze me.
That one I remember.
Oh my God. Wow. And I was like, I wasn't even feeling too hot on Niagara either. I was like, this is a cool project. Very impressive that he's 16 years old making this shit. You know, go him. But this
one here.
This is holy fuck. I can't even. I can't even
actually this could crack this. I was like, this could shake up my ranking.
This is honestly, it is shaking up my ranking currently. If I had to go for a top 4 of hip hop albums, I'm probably gonna go Vince, Denzel, Saba, and Red Veil. If I had to throw 5, it's a toss-up between Pusha and Earl. I do really like that Earl project, but I also do really like the Pusha project.
Yeah.
It's tough for me, but
it's a good. They're all those albums are.
They're
so
all
solid.
We're getting, and also I was just thinking about that. Like this is a year like in terms of hip hop, we're getting a lot of really great releases because Denzel, Vince, Earl, Pusha, Saba, like these are all fairly big names. Like. Come on.
Kendrick's coming too.
Kendrick's coming, exactly. Like this is a pretty, I hate to talk about it again, but 2016, 2022, could go crazy. At least in terms of, just notable hip hop releases.
Oh, I'm excited.
Really solid here. Beyond that, West Side Boogie and Shelly track, very good. This track from Raven Lene I thought was pretty cool too. MIA.
Man, I keep forgetting songs.
Dude. That's why you got to go through the playlist
this week. I was going through. I didn't add stuff this time because I was like, my April playlist, it's too big.
Yeah, my April playlist is getting really bloated. Although it's not as bad as I think my February one. I should probably start on May next week. I think I will for next week's releases.
Yeah.
I think that'll start off the May. But Oliver Keane, this little EP called 16mm Dream Sequence, I thought was pretty cool as well. New Godly, the Ruler EP as well. I don't know that I necessarily loved it that much. It's definitely giving me a lot more like some Gene Dawson type stuff. Okay. So, it's really cool. Don't get me wrong.
Just not the same as the last EP.
Yeah, and I do think Gene Dawson obviously does it a little bit better. But notable tracks, Girls Free Till Midnight is really cool.
Should reach out to him for the interview.
We really should. He's only growing at this point, so we'll miss out on our chance. We'll get him on the new late night show that we're gonna start. No spoilies, but we got some stuff in store, folks. All right. This project everything was beautiful. Spiritualized, I thought was really, really good too. Very nice sonically. Absol Hollandaise, good to have him back. I'm excited to hear more from Absol. I'm hoping we get a project this year.
I was so excited.
I'm really hoping we get a project from him this year.
TDE is coming out.
They're coming out.
We're like, oh, Dreamville released a project. Everyone's
dropping.
Now roll out.
Yeah.
They're like,
go.
Everyone,
move out.
It's time.
Yeah, exactly. And lastly, the last album I heard this morning, actually, Wayland Vices is so dope. It's so dope.
I saw someone talking about that today.
This synth pop 80s sound. I'm a fucking sucker for. You already know. But it's really good. It's really good.
I got a lot of music I need to.
You really do. I had a fucking ball of a week this week in terms of music, which was needed, and it really lit a fire under my ass after last week's very underwhelming release week. Like, I don't think I added anything to my April playlist last week. I might have. I don't remember, but yeah, just really great week for music.
Yeah.
New Kendrick coming soon. Very excited. Exactly. But folks, that's going to be it for this week's episode. I honestly don't remember if I mentioned it at the top of the episode, but we are going to be taking a short hiatus after this week. Noah, he's moving, so we're gonna see when we come back. We'll definitely try to keep you all posted, or you'll see when the episode drops. We're also gonna be streaming. Haven't decided between YouTube or Twitch yet, but regardless, it's going to be on a new channel. So I'm not gonna say anything yet. We still have a lot of logistical planning to do, but that is that. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Needle and Lens. That's it. See y'all next time. I can't say next week. Next time.
Peace.
Peace.